Hello guys, how are you? My name is Carolina and welcome to my channel. This is a channel where I mainly talk about cross stitch, and I think I am actually going to show you something that is not cross stitch today, so woohoo! I would have liked to do a longer video or show you more stuff, but it is what it is. I am so glad I'm able to do this video. Today is December 27th, 2023. It is a Wednesday. I am hoping to get this edited and up before the new year, but if not, I will do it as soon as I get back. I'm going to be away at my parents for a bit until after the new year, so I've just uploaded after the new year, but hopefully I can get it done before. We shall see. It kind of just depends how things go. But if you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to check my video out, coming to check my stitching out and seeing what I'm up to. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back to check me out. Yeah, so it hasn't been entirely long since I uploaded, but a bit longer since I recorded. I had internet issues with my computer for like 2 weeks. So I wasn't able to upload even though I recorded very early in December. But it actually has been a little bit of time since I've like sat down and recorded. So this should be relatively new stuff. Today I have excitingly not one, but two finishes to share. I have a fully finished object to share. I of course have some progress to share. I'm gonna dip into January plans, mainly whip go and touching on like what I'm gonna do for 2024. Ideally I would have done like a separate 2024 plans video in December, but I'm not gonna get the chance to do that. I probably will still do it in early January, hopefully, but I will touch on it today just in case I can't and go like not, just in case I cannot go into like a full video. I'll touch on it here and give a good overview of what I'm planning to do. Yeah, that's the plan. Sorry, a little bit scattered brain today as always until I get really back into the swing of things, but I am working on it. So yeah, so like I said, finishes, fully finished, progress, little bit of plans, fun little extra at the end. I think that pretty much covers everything. Plans, if I didn't already say that, like January plans, but then also overview of 2024 plans. And then we'll see, maybe when I get back from being away, I'll try and do like a more in-depth 2024 plans video. I thought about doing a whip parade, but I don't think I'm going to, mainly because I have a lot of little projects, which is why I have 2 finishes today, honestly, that are relatively close to being done, and I really want to focus on those the first maybe 3 months of the year, 3 to 4 months, and try to bring that down, and then do a whip parade maybe in like March, or maybe just go for a mid-year. So like I mentioned, I have kind of 2 finishes to share. One parade season here in Flosstube. Yes, if you remember from my last video, I was very close to finishing Strike a Balance, and I did manage to finish that. I got this done on December 9th. I apologize if I sound a little bit crazy. Just a little bit of the blue to go here. And in the video, I remember talking about it like stuff, and my voice is getting kind of icky, I'll go do this and I'll do that. And I don't know why I didn't think I wasn't gonna finish. It was really close to being done. Relatively quick with this video, so my voice doesn't get too yucky, and show you all those things and talk about the plans and get this uploaded as soon as possible. I'm just not a good gauge of how long it's gonna take me to do something, whether like I underestimated or overestimated. So yeah, this was done fairly quickly after recording. So it was like 3 days after I recorded. But yeah, I'm so happy that it's done. My idea is to frame this in a hoop. I'm gonna frame it in a wooden hoop, but then I'm gonna try and see if I can either design or find a design of a circular frame that can be 3D printed, and with my husband make it like a co-op project. I'll do the stitching, which is done, and he'll help me do the frame, and we can get this framed. I don't know if I want to put it in my office or leave it here at the house, or maybe I'll alternate it, who knows. But yeah, I'm super pumped. So this is Strike a Balance as it was released in a magazine by Emma Cogden, but now that it's been over 6 months, it is now on her Etsy page, and it is titled Yin and Yang on her Etsy page. So awesome, super excited about that. The next finish I have to share is actually my oldest whip no more. This is Bluebird by Bucilla. It is a kit I got at Walmart for like less than $6. I got it when I first started stitching in 2015. Like I said, my oldest whip, so I was working on this in 2015. And the reason it laid around for so long, aside from me starting all the things, is that this was supposed to be a camping project. So back then I had a travel project and a camping project. So travel was like, I was in the car, I was at a doctor's office, that kind of thing. And this was strictly camping because my husband and I used to camp a lot because it was just the two of us. And we would camp not just often, but like for longer periods of time. So like over a week, over spring break, things like that. So yeah, so that's when I would work on this project. Fun fact, I did get to take this camping this year for a very short camping trip we did. It was very much a glamping trip because we didn't stay in our tent. We just stayed in a cabin with family. But I decided, you know what, this is it. I have to get this done. So I pulled it out. I put it on my WhipGo board for 2023, or my Whip-Tac-Toe, as I joined WhipGo at the very end of the year. But yeah, it got called for December. Yeah, it got called for December, so I finished it this month. I did do a slight edit here. This had, ooh, sorry about that. This had a lot more flowers. It kind of had basically like a second row of flowers and then the buds, and then some more leaves. But I wanted to fit in a 6-inch hoop, so I decided to just do one of the rows of the flowers. And then the other thing I changed is I made the back stitch in different colors. So I just had everything back stitched in like a dark gray, except for the bird. The blue part of the bird was back stitched in blue, but I changed, like I used the darkest green that was in the kit for the leaves. I actually got my own DMC burgundy for the flowers because the darkest, I think I thought it would just blend in too much, because there was, you know, like here, this is the darkest color right there, so it would blend right in, so I wanted it to stand out. This I did leave in that dark gray along with the beak, and the bird was already blue. But yeah, I'm super happy. I will also like to finish this in a hoop, similar to how this looks now, but I want to get one of those rubber hoops that looks like it's wood. I thought that would look really nice, and maybe I'll put it out like either on my front porch or like in the back in the lanai area. I'm not sure, but I'm super glad that this is done and it's no longer a whip, so yay. And then the last finish is really a finish I'd already showed, but now it's fully finished. It is my stocking, and I have it not just a clip, but I have it live to show you. And it has been sewn into a stocking by my aunt, and oh, I throw something in it. But yes, she uses red fabric. She doesn't use the felt that comes in the stocking kits, just because it's a little bit more sturdy. She also covers the inside, so like no fingers get stuck in the threads in the back. And yeah, I'm super glad this is done. This is probably going to stay with me in my house, because usually my parents come up for Christmas, so it'll just stay here with our stockings. So yeah, this is just so exciting. There were so many years where I said, this is the year, I'm going to finish this. I will not end this year without finishing this. And then I didn't. And then this was the year that I finished it. And I'm so glad it's done. I have 3 stockings I'd like to finish for next year. Really, I have one that's my main goal. The other 2 is for a family that's not super close and doesn't really celebrate Christmas with us, but they still like are part of the stocking tradition. So I'd like to get it to them, but I don't feel like it's as urgent. I hope to have them all done. All 3 are started. One is halfway done, so I'm pretty sure I can finish that one. The other one is like, gosh, maybe like a third done, if that. I haven't looked at it in a while, so we'll see. And then the other one is just a tiny bit of start, but that's actually the one with the highest priority. So I'll probably be working on that one the hardest. And then the other ones, hopefully I can get done, but if not, I will have one for sure done for 2024 and the other 2 for 2025, but we'll see. And then I should be caught up as long as there's no more marriages or babies, but we'll see what life brings. But yeah, so that is done. So as far as finishes, that is it. So next I have whips, and then I'll go into plans. Okay, so technically this hasn't changed since my last video, but I forgot to mention something about it, so I thought I'd mention it here today. So as you know, I'm participating in Bake Me a Quaker Style, hosted by EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers. This is what the pattern looks like by Karen Kluba, who designs under the name Rosewood Manor. And last time I showed you, I got the border done, and I am using a DMC Coloris. It is 4507. The title is Bougainvillea. And this is a reminder of where I am. I just have the border. I have not been able to work on any of the Quakers as of yet, but I'm hoping to do that this end of the year between now and January 1st. So we'll see. But what I forgot to mention last time and I was actually really excited about is that I got each corner to be one of the different colors. So this DMC Colors has 4 main colors in it. It has the light aqua, the blue, the pink magenta color, and then the dark teal. And the first 2 were technically an accident. So the first one, the first corner came in the light aqua color. And then the second top corner, so I guess this would be the top left, so the top right corner is the dark teal color. So then I'm like, you know, I want all 4 corners to be one of the colors. So I had to do a little bit of strategic cutting and stitching for this to work, but it did manage to get it to work. So I made sure I made the bottom right corner came out in the pink color. And then the bottom left corner is in the blue color. And I was so proud of myself for getting that to work out. And I had to play with it a little bit, but I did get it to work. So, and I only had to do it twice because the first 2 just kind of ended up working out that way. So that's when I was like, oh, I'm just going to make it happen for all of them. But yeah, so that was the first whip. So the other whips that I worked on, I have this one. I don't remember if I showed this in the last video, as much progress. I think I got more progress since I last showed it. So this is my kitchen towel. It's not really a towel. I call it a towel, but the material is just like cloth. Decorative towel, I guess you could say. I worked on the 2 girls next to the cake a little bit more. I got the dark blue in, I got all the hair, the dark brown and the light brown of the hair. I feel like I got more skin done. I started working on these little leaves at the ends of the 2 girls. It's like a couple leaves and a flower, I think. So I got a little bit more progress on that. I had hoped to also finish this in 2023, but it's definitely not going to happen. I am going to do my best to try and finish it for 2024. Like at the very beginning, January if possible, maybe February if I have to, but I'm hoping that by January it is done. So that is my hope. That is one of the other projects I worked on. Aside from that, I just shook the camera again, sorry about that. Aside from that, I did also work on my whip go calls. So one was Bluebird, which you saw that I finished, but the other you'll probably recognize if you watch. Oh my gosh, my straw is in the shot. I am so sorry. Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff, who made this her finish it by the end of the year project, and she broke it into 12 pieces. So it really inspired me to get mine out. I had the saddest start on Glory of Autumn by Dimensions. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous kit. I am using everything except the Aida that was provided. I switched it out to 16 count Aida. And I did do some test patches with 6-strand stitching, and it does work. So yeah, I worked on it a bit more. I had just the red and a little bit of this top brown when you last saw it. So I added this brown of the roof here, and I worked on 2 colors on the middle tree. As I tend to do, I made a counting error, and there is an extra line in this tree. So somewhere where I was supposed to like count up 2 squares to get to the next little leaf, I counted up, no, I think I was supposed to count up 1 square and I counted up 2 squares somehow. And by the time I noticed, I had just stitched so much. I was like, I'm not gonna rip this out. I probably could have, but I decided not to, just because it's in a very like organic part of the chart. If it had been like in the house or something, maybe I would have. Even then, if it was like one of the straight parts of the house, it would just been a slightly taller house, you know. But I think it'll be fine as long as I like basically hold on, I'm trying to figure out where I can put this down without it falling. So basically, this tree's gonna be a little bit taller. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to the fence and stitch the top, this part of the fence, so I can base this tree off of that instead of like, I think I was gonna like count sideways and start on like one of these leaves here, but I think I'm just gonna go down to the trunk and then work my way up and stitch this tree, and then finish stitching this tree, and then do the green in the middle, and wherever that extra line is, there'll be a little bit of extra green. It's not something that you're really gonna notice, but I am gonna have to pay attention when I stitch it and make sure I don't like base any counting off of the tree, just in case it kind of screws the whole thing up. And then what I think I'll have to do is, same as I'm doing with like that green tree, I think I'm going to do the same for this tree here, is just work my way across this top of the roof and then up to the second house and this roof, and then do the orange tree and then go back and do the middle, because I think this tree's going to be a little bit off, but it's just green stitches, so then I can just add the extra stitches. So it'll be fine. I just have to be a little bit mindful of how I count. And I did write it down on a sticky note, just because I remember that now, but I don't know exactly when I'm going to pick this up again. I do plan on picking it up again because I'd really like to work on every single of my one of my whips next year at least once, but that I don't know if it'll be like much later in the year, and by then I probably would have forgotten, so I did write that down. But yeah, so that was the other project that I worked on, and I think that's it honestly as far as whips, because I had the Bluebird, which I was focusing on, and then Glory of Autumn, and honestly with holidays and stuff, that's really all I've had time for, so it's not like it's been a super stitchy month. But yeah, that's it as far as whips. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about plans and whip go, and then show you my little bit of extra at the end, and that'll wrap up this video. Yeah. Alright, so as far as 2024, my plans, as I mentioned, is to whip down, touch all of my whips at least once, and I am going to be participating in a few things to help me do that. So the first one, which is probably going to be obvious, is Whip Go. I have participated in it since the beginning, except for 2022, because I wasn't really stitching that year. But I will be doing that, and on my Whip Go board, I'm going to put projects that I'd like to get a lot of progress in, hopefully, but not necessarily finish, because I'm also going to be participating in the Year of Whips, which is hosted by Melanie Watkins of Soulful Stitcher. So she has us choose a certain number of whips and then puts different rules each year. This year you have to pick at least 8 whips, and in order to finish her challenge you have to finish at least half of those, so 4 whips. I would hope to finish all 8 whips that I pick, but I do have more than 8 projects that I think I'd like to finish, so I'm gonna have finishes that might not be on the Year of Whips. So basically I want the Year of Whips to be a challenge, and I might try and do a video for Year of Whips in January. I was thinking of doing a whip parade like I mentioned, and I'm not really gonna do that probably till the middle of the year, but I might do like a Year of Whips whip parade. We'll see. I haven't decided. But yeah, so I have more than 8 projects that I'd like to finish, but I want the 8 projects to be a challenge. I have some like Bluebird where I'm like, I can finish this, no biggie. I don't really want that to be on the Year of Whips because those are ones I'm finishing regardless. Really only 4 of them I really will make sure that I can definitely finish. Like I said, I like to finish all 8, but if I can't, I want to make sure 4 are pretty realistic to finish, but are still a little bit of a challenge. So I have that going on. Whip Go are projects that I don't necessarily want to finish, but I want to get a lot of progress on. So if they're any type of Pattern Keeper compatible chart, my goal is 6,000 stitches. And if they're a non-Pattern Keeper chart, I'm just going to go for 6 hours. Like I said, I'm still kind of relearning how long it takes me to get progress since I've started stitching again. I feel like sometimes, like I said, I overestimate or underestimate how long it's going to take me. So I thought 6 hours is a pretty realistic goal. Definitely a little bit more of a challenge, especially because there are going to be projects I'm going to be working on to finish. So Whip Go aren't the only things I'm going to be working on for the month. I thought it'd be a good plan. So having said all of that, today I want to share my January WIP Go goal, since that goes into my plan. So the first one is actually pretty familiar, and I'm so glad this got called because I think I would like to finish this, but I didn't include it in Year of WIPs because it wasn't really a priority. But if it gets finished, I'm not going to complain. So this is I Didn't Do It by Bucilla. Also sold as a Bucilla Heirloom Small. I forget the name. It's kind of like Dimension Gold Petites, but the Bucilla Heirloom version. And I'm just going to work on it for 6 hours. So this is where it's at. You last saw this, I believe, in October. So yeah, so I'm glad that got pulled out. Really easy to travel with and carry around. So I am going to be taking that with me when I go to my parents for the new year. And like these next few days and into the new year. So I'm really excited about that. And that's goal is 6 hours because it's a non-pattern keeper chart. And the other one is actually going to be a bit of a restart. So this is an Etsy chart by, found at an Etsy store called Hardcore Stitchcore. It is this lovely bookshelf here. It has a quote, says, "Books are both our luxuries and our daily bread," by Henry Stevens. And my idea is to use dark floss and then use petite treasure braid and make it look like those old bound books. So I'm really excited about my idea. And I've got the tiniest start. This is actually already a restart, but it's been so long I changed my mind on what I want to do. I still want to use, this is in DMC 550. And I just have a little bit start on the first book, but I'm going to rip that out. I'm going to use 820. Just because I think I want the first book to be blue. And I haven't decided on which treasure braid color I'm going to use. I'm probably going to use like antique gold, black gold, a bronze, a silver. So I'm going to I probably will stitch the DMC part first and then go back, and because that way I can place it a little bit better. Or at least get a few books in before I start adding the petite treasure braid, just because I don't want to stitch the first one and then change my mind or something. But they're all going to be kind of nice jewel-y toned DMCs. So the first one is going to be this lovely blue. So yeah, so that is the other WIP Go call. That's also going to get 6 hours. I bet you that pattern could work with Pattern Keeper, but it's so old I don't even know if Pattern Keeper was around. So yeah. But I think that's all I have to show you right now. I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it. I talked about the plans, but that's all I have to show you for now. So I do have one kind of stitchy acquisition. It's not something I purchased. It's something I kind of designed based off floss drops that I've seen online, and my husband 3D printed them for me. So he has a 3D printer, and I tasked him with making me some floss drops for some projects I have in mind. So I have some floss drops. I have a sample here. And these can go on any sort of keychain. It's got the hole for the main part of the thread and for the little bit that you're using. And he printed me like 90 of them, so I am super stoked. And I'm just using half of a hole cover as the label because I don't have any other labels right now. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. And I also had him print me one with 2 holes for blended colors, and I only have about 30 of those, but I'm so excited about these. I'm just glad that like I have the design. He can save these files so he can kind of print them at will for me now. Usually it's long, it basically can print overnight, so if I do need more I can tell him like, hey, can you run a print of them, and it prints 30 at a time, so it's perfect, and I'm so excited about it. Yay! But that's really my only stitchy acquisition I have right now. With the end of the year and the holidays and present buying, there's just no way I was gonna be able to buy much stitchy stuff for me. However, I do have something I will be getting in January, so hopefully for the next video I'll have some fun buys to share with you. But that really concludes this part of the cross stitch video. I do have a bit of an extra. I decided to jump into diamond painting. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. Still haven't talked about knitting, but maybe we'll do that next month. We'll see. Yeah, I think I'll do that next month because I really want to talk about it more. I just haven't like really knit it a lot recently because I'm getting, like I said multiple times, I've been getting back into cross stitch and I'm just so excited about it. But I'll probably be doing that soon because I do want to get some knitting projects going and kind of have that momentum, so I don't like let it slide by. But yeah, so just in case you're like really not into diamond painting at all and you want to end the video here, totally fine if you do. I will see you next time. I hope you have or had a great new year, depending on when you see this, depending on when I upload this. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I would absolutely love it if you left a comment. I will be going back and answering comments from the last couple of videos. I did see a few came in. And if you do like what you see, I would also love it if you gave it a like and subscribe so I could see you around next time. But yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful time, that you're stitching, that you're having fun with it, that you're crafting if you have other crafts, and that you're enjoying planning for the new year. If you are a planner, if you are a sew-wee stitcher, that is totally fine. Stitch what you want. Totally cool. Sometimes I am a sew-wee stitcher myself, and that is an acronym that came about, oh gosh, a while ago now. But yeah, anyway, I digress. I hope you're having a great time, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for checking me out. Or I'll see you in a second to talk about diamond painting. Hey guys, I actually have one extra thing I wanted to include. I almost forgot I wanted to do this. I'll probably upload it as its own little video, and you might see it beforehand either on Instagram or Facebook, but I also wanted to include it here. So I decided to do a little trend that I've seen around with boys, girls, teachers, crafters in general, but not cross stitch. So here we go. Have you heard of cross stitcher math? Take a look and enjoy. Okay, so we've heard of boy math, we've heard of girl math, we've even heard of teacher math, but have you heard of cross stitcher math? If you get something as part of a monthly club or subscription, it doesn't actually count against your budget. If you get all the patterns in a series, that only counts as one purchase, but each pattern completed counts as its own finish. If the project you're stitching on came from a magazine, that chart was actually free. Whether you add 1 stitch or 1,000 stitches to a project on any given day, that project now has one more day of progress. If you're kitting up a project entirely from stash, you're not actually spending any money. When you make an online purchase for that one skein of floss that you needed, since you're paying shipping, you got to throw at least one pattern in there because you're actually saving money by buying that pattern. Once you've finished all the cross stitches in a project, that's basically a finish, even if you still have backstitch and beading left to do. All right, so recently this year, I really thought I wanted to get back into diamond painting. I tried it in the COVID times, as one does, and I bought the cheapest kit off of Wish, which I don't even know if Wish is still a thing, and I know better now. I wouldn't buy it on there anyway. But the design was just so bad, mainly because it was small. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I just wanted to try the craft, and I really should have gotten a slightly bigger size so that it would be a little bit more detailed. So I did enjoy it, and it was cute, but it just was so pixelated. It was not even worth it. It actually got thrown away in the move because it got messed up. It got like a bunch of tape on it. I just messed like the paper up, and I was just like, whatever. I actually still have those little diamonds around, but I'm not sure what I do with them. I'm just like terrible and a hoarder, and I can't bring myself to throw them away. So maybe I'll do like a very simple cross stitch design as a diamond painting or something. I don't know. I haven't decided, But for Christmas, I decided to ask for a diamond painting, and I decided I want a nice one. The kits are really pricey once you go pretty big. Because similar to like a Heaven and Earth, Tilton Crafts, or any of those full coverage cross-stitch designs, it really needs to be big to capture the essence, to be detailed enough. And I probably could have searched a little more, because this one's a little bit darker than what I usually stitch, and not the initial choice I wanted, but I really wanted artwork by Miles Pinckney. So if you don't recognize Miles Pinckney, he designed Planetarius, which is charted by Busilla Heirloom, and Scarlet Wizard, which is charted by Dementia's Gold. And those are super rare to find, usually an arm and a leg. Definitely were my unicorn charts forever. I got super lucky with Scarlet Wizard, and somebody sold it to me at the price they paid for it. They was so kind. Definitely a stitcher that understood the battle. With Planetarius, I did have to pay a high price, but I did de-stash stuff to pay for it, so it didn't feel like such a hit. So anyway, I decided to get a wizard for my diamond painting. I originally wanted the astronomer, but it was out of stock. And I think it's because it's one they use in their ads. So I guess people go for that one specifically. But I decided to go with the alchemist. Like I said, you can see the skull there. You can see it's a little bit darker, but I thought it'd be fun. And I think maybe I will do one of the Heaven and Earth designs. And I'm sorry, I can hear my voice going. I'm almost done, guys, I promise. But yeah, so I thought it would be fun to have Scarlet Wizard stitched, Planetarius stitched, the Alchemist diamond painted, and maybe, I think the Astronomer might be a Heaven and Earth, so maybe do that one as a Heaven and Earth, or pick one of the other wizards. I think they have a quick stitch wizard, so I might do that one. But this one is, of course, huge. It is 27.6 inches by 41.3 inches, so I believe that is taller than my daughter since the last time she was measured. For reference, here it is. Yep, it's huge. But I did start in the top left, which is what I do with Heaven and Earth designs and full coverages as well. I was surprised, honestly, when I first got this and I saw this and I'm like, a needle minder? Why would I need a needle minder for diamond painting? Well, it's called a cover binder, and it's for when you fold back the piece of paper. It actually comes with this sort of clear plastic, but they sell these called release papers, and they sell different sizes, and you can kind of section it off a little bit better. The first diamond painting I tried had this kind of paper instead of the clear plastic, but I kind of like it because you can see what's coming. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so far I've got just the tiniest bit done. Interestingly enough, the numbers, or at least most of the numbers, do match the MCs. So lots of 310, lots of 3371, and this one also has some purple, 154. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to like organize that, but I am super stoked to try it. This kind of came about earlier in the year when I was getting a lot of headaches, and I really wanted to be able to work on something and be creative and be crafty without having to think a lot. And sometimes that could be knitting if it's like a one row pattern or a really easy repeat. Sometimes it can be cross stitch if I'm just like filling in, or if it's like something on perforated paper. But I thought diamond painting would be a fun solution. It's something I wanted to try anyways. It's not a hobby I think I'm gonna jump into full force and have tons of whips. I probably will have a big one and a smaller one working, so maybe 2 at a time. Right now I just have the one. But I really think in order for me to like it, it's gonna have to be a large piece, which means it's gonna be an expensive kit. And just the way we budget, I can't be buying one all the time. It's much easier with cross stitch because even though it could be as much or more than the diamond painting kit, I can really space that out because I can get the fabric, or I might already have the fabric. I have a lot of stash that I might already have threads for, I might already have beads for, or I can space out the purchases. I can really start the stitching because I can look at the pattern ahead of time and see what colors need, and as they come up, buy more. So it's a lot easier that way. And it's, I think, a lot easier to have a lot of stash, like have a bunch of DMC, have Crescent Color Works or Weeks Dye Works or Anchor, assuming Anchor sticks around as Anchor, DMC, to have beads, to have a bunch of fabric. With diamond painting, I feel like it's harder to do that. I guess you could start getting all the different colors of the diamonds, but each company might have a different numbering system. I'm not sure. The diamonds might be slightly different. So I feel like you really need to just buy a kit. And it's a lot of money at one time. So I just can't do that. And it's harder to store. So I don't see myself having more than two. Maybe the big one and then like a smaller one if I want to get some progress in. But I'm just not feeling the big one. I did also buy myself an organizing kit. So I've got, oh gosh, it's not the best as far as the top goes. I just got this off of Amazon. It really needs like a clip or something here, but got all like the trays and the little pens and everything up here, and then the diamonds down here. This is a 60 color organizer, and it the pattern has 61 colors, so I kept one in a bag, which is the 310, one of the most used colors. So there's that. But I did also ask, not really ask, I put it on my wish list, and my husband got it because he knew my sister-in-law was getting the diamond painting. He got me one of the nicer pen sets, but I won't have that till the new year because the kit he had gotten, I realized there's two different kinds of tips. One's that kind of goes in by pressure and one that screws in, and I think I want the screw-in type so that it's easier to work with. So we're gonna swap that out. And for the colors that have a lot, you get multiple bags of them. So I just had this old makeup bag and I put it in here. And akin to a Heaven and Earth Designs, lots of 310, and actually this one has much more 3371. So some of them will have like one bag or two bags of colors. Some will have like 3 bags. This one had 3 bags. The 310, there's the 310. There's actually, I think, one more, and it got set aside. But the 3371, you want to see? Oh, that's not 30. This is 938. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the 3371. You want to see how much 3371 there is in this pattern? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bags of 3371. So that's gonna be fun. That's like, you know, the Heaven and Earth that have like 8 skeins of 310 or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, super exciting. I'm curious to see the kind of quality I'm gonna get. From my understanding, this is one of the nicer companies. I got a pretty large chart, so it should look pretty good. I did the math and measured it out, and it is akin to working on a 9 count to 10 count fabric. It's between a 9 and a 10 count, not exactly 9.5. It was like 9.05, so like 9.1. So it really was kind of 9 count. I looked online and it said, this company specifically said the diamonds are 2.8 millimeters. But I looked online and somewhere I saw 2.5 milliliters for diamonds. So maybe that's a different company, but it said they're pretty standard in size. So that's why I said, depending on where the diamond painting it's from, it looks like it's about working on a 9 count to a 10 count fabric. Obviously the square, there are square and round diamonds, in case you didn't know. I decided to go for square diamonds because I'm thinking like a cross stitcher. But the one that you can get at Joann's and at some Walmarts is diamond dots, and those are all round. And my daughter actually thought this was super cool and decided she wanted one of her own. And we were at Walmart buying some last minute gifts, and there was a butterfly diamond painting on clearance, a diamond dot. So I went ahead and got it. She's worked on it. She's amazing. She's the symbol. I have to help her take them out, but she knows exactly what to do and where to look, so I'm super excited. And the coverage looked all right to me, so maybe it just depends on the type of pattern it is, I guess. So I'm super excited that she's doing that with me. She did also ask me for a cross stitch kit, so I'm so pumped. I got her one, but it was plastic canvas. I think that might be a little tough because she's only turning 6, and most cross stitch kits say 8 and up or so. So I decided to buy her a second kit where it's like a stamped cross stitch, and it's stamped the color of the stitches. So it's got like a little rainbow, a little heart, an owl, a little plant, a strawberry. So I think I'm gonna do those with her as well. So I'm super stoked for both the diamond painting and the cross stitching. So yeah, that really wraps up this video. As you can probably hear, my voice is going, so I am going to head out. I will see you in the new year. This video might be uploaded in the new year, we shall see. But I hope you're having a wonderful December, or you had a wonderful December, and I thank you for stopping by and watching my video, and I look forward to the next one. I hope you're having a great time, a great day, a great month, a great year. Bye guys.